You a little bit earlier in the show. We want to run through it again because all summer long we've been taking you out and about to some places that are family friendly, have a lot of fun, give you some ideas of things you might want to do while spending quality time with your family.
Right, but the weather, of course, getting a little bit colder right now. So this week we wanted to take you in and about, can we say?
I think so.
To an inside location and maybe even turn up the heat a little bit.
But when we're talking about cranking up the heat, we're talking about cranking it up to about 1,000 degrees or more, which might shatter all ideas you have about art. For most of us, breaking glass is easy, but fusing it back together, that's an art form.
People walk in off the street and it's like walking into a candy shop. For most people, they see all of the colors and the shapes and they're just happy.
It's a textile art form that has nothing to do with stained glass or blown glass.
It's in the middle where you're working, layering glass, and then all of the manipulation of the glass is done with the heat of a kiln.
The owner of Fusion's glass studio, Linda Crouch, says it can become a bit of an addiction. Starting out with just a project can lead to a world of possibilities.
I got my plate and it was just so exciting. I had to go back and take another class, and then I had to go back and take another class, and then I had to take my sister with me, and we both had to go take a class.
At that time, Crouch was living in Seattle, so when she moved to Boise, she decided it was time to infuse the valley with a passion for glass fusion.
I teach the first class. Those people told their friends, they showed them what they made, and all of a sudden I was overwhelmed with people that wanted to learn this art form.
It's not just about the classes here, though. Fusions is a full-service studio offering walk-in projects, open studio time, supplies, gifts, and even a rotating art gallery featuring a new artist every month.
Pretty much anything you want to make out of glass, we can help you figure out how to do it.
There's so many things you can do with glass in a kiln.
That's right, so many things, provided that your kiln is at a temperature between 1,400 to 1,700 degrees.
But we can't leave that open for long or we're going to thermal shock it.
By playing with these shards of glass, you might be surprised at the inner artist in you.
They come in and a lot of people will say, I'm not creative, but once you start touching and layering glass and colors, something happens and they just bloom and they get into the zone.
It may be a little dangerous, but here, mistakes are inspirational.
People very quickly become comfortable with working with glass and not worried about breaking it, or even if you break the piece of glass, you can use the pieces in another. We don't throw anything away. We use everything.
And so you saw us making our sun catchers. That was a project that Linda and Stephanie gave us to do, and we did bring the finished project. You leave your project for about a week, and then they throw it in the kiln and get it ready for you. So these were all those little individual pieces of glass, and they're all fused together.
And I like your flower because it actually is something, whereas mine is more of an abstract sort of thing.
But it can be whatever you want it to be.
And that's exactly it. You let your creativity just kind of run wild.
Yep, and that was something that was interesting about mine is they were so apologetic, but they broke mine on accident, fused it back together, and just like you heard Linda say, we don't throw away anything here. I mean, there's so many ways to fix the glass, and sometimes those mistakes are actually what makes the piece really cool.
Makes it unique.
So when you start going there, and you can go in for walk-in projects, they stay open late on Tuesdays and Thursdays until 9 at night. But when you start going in there, you don't work with the heat. So don't let that make you nervous.
Absolutely. And kids are welcome as long as they're with a parent. You can make plates. There's all kinds of functional items besides just decorative ones that you can make too. So Fusion's Glass Studio, it's in downtown kind of Old Eagle area.
So look for it there and let us know.